What ensures the path in front of me is clear? This gun in my hand.
Thursday morning in Gristle Park. 3 men walk in a row past the empty bench where Falk Zildjian sometimes holds court. That's Falk Zildjian, unparalleled hero by virtue of the fact that he carries a gun. The man in the lead is in his 30s, the other 2 in their 20s. They wear beige short-sleeve button-down shirts and shorts, hiking boots, and wide-brimmed boonie hats. A casual observer might mistake them for a park ranger and his 2 trainees, but the man in the lead is none other than the Trailmaster.
We've already walked 6 miles, Trailmaster. Can we stop for a minute to get a chili dog? There's a lady with a hot dog cart on the edge of the park.
Where?
Southeast of us.
Which way is that? Never mind, no time, friend. Have some trail mix to keep you going. You remembered to pack some in your knapsack, didn't you?
Yes, that's okay.
Where'd you get this trail mix?
It's my own recipe. It's high in nutrients, compact, affordable, and lasts a long time without refrigeration. But the ingredients are fairly standard. You can remember them by the abbreviation GORP.
Is that what's in this stuff?
Sure, grapes and orange peels.
I thought GORP stood for granola, oats, raisins, and peanuts.
No, where do you hear that? Oats? Ugh. Anyway, I don't want you to catch a chill, boys. Pull up the collars of your trailblazers.
Where are we going?
The journey is more important than the destination. Just follow me. That's why I gave you the name Journeyman, you know, as a reminder.
I'm Scout. He's Journeyman.
Not all who wander are lost, Scout.
Great, more wandering. It's kind of funny. Wandering without knowing your destination feels almost indistinguishable from actually being lost.
We couldn't get lost in this park if we tried. You can see the roads bordering it from anywhere inside the park.
Yes, but there are trails through the city, and I have an innate sense of direction. Plus, I have a photographic memory of all the yellow arrows I've painted on the walls of alleys along the trail.
We wouldn't need to rely on your memory if it wasn't for that tagger, PR monster, drawing new yellow arrows in the opposite direction to every one you paint.
That unerring sense of direction comes from my ancestry. My great-grandmother was Cherokee.
Really? My mother and father are both Seminole.
Good, great. I bet they are seminal to your life and development. What's that got to do with...
It's a tribe.
Right. I should have remembered that from your job interview, Scout.
I'm Journeyman, he's Scout.
Right, sorry.
Oh, geez, I just realized. You didn't take your name Trailmaster from the Trail of Tears, did you?
No, what's that?
Never mind.
I just love hiking. The idea of making new trails, finding trails made by rabbits or deer or what have you. Do what you love and you'll never have to work a day in your life.
That's why I didn't want to follow in my dad's line of work. I had no interest in it.
Oh, what industry was he in?
Construction.
Yes, the proud tradition of red men like our ancestors, working among the highest girders in the skyscraper, because they have no fear of heights.
He's actually an accountant for a construction firm.
Oh, good. Good for him.
If we can't stop for a chili dog, can you at least tell us where we're going? I think we've done enough forced marches to build up our endurance. You could at least tell us where we're wandering to.
All right, Scout, if you must know, I'll tell you. We're making our way through the park because we're blazing the ultimate trail. If you haven't been to the wharf, you haven't lived. That's why it's the end of the trail. I'm glad we'll be furthering your development by getting you to that part of the country.
I think it's been a two-way street. You've improved because of our influence.
I suppose so. In what ways?
You wouldn't be named the Trailmaster if it wasn't for us. You wanted to call yourself the Trailer until we talked you out of it.
Right, which reminds me, at the conclusion of that debate, we decided that my minions or followers were going to be called Trailers, but you haven't stuck to it.
It's in our contract. We're called followers or henchmen, or by our hero names, not minions or trailers.
Yes, no, you're right, I'll abide by that. A trailsman always stands by his word, because his word is his bond.
You really want to replace that Baden-Powell guy, don't you? The Scoutmaster.
How could anyone hope to? No, I hold him as a role model. You should too.
We'll return with Act 2 of This Gun in My Hand after this important message.
Buy United States war bonds. But I bet you're saying, it's 1939. We're not at war. We already fought the war to end all wars, and that did the trick. Hi, My name is Catch 2022. I'm a superhero with the power to foresee the future, but only glimpses of popular culture to come. I can see and hear the novels, films, music, and radio stories that will be entertaining people 5 decades from now, or a century from now. Unfortunately, I can't tell which ones are fiction or non-fiction, so it's kind of spotty. It's not as helpful as seeing the future straightforwardly. However, a whole lot of my pop culture visions involve the United States going to war 2 years from now in 1941, so I think that might be a real event. This is just a reminder to do your patriotic duty and buy war bonds as soon as they become available. Help our boys who will be overseas to whip whoever it is that we're going to need to whip.
Look, Trailmaster, I follow you because I believe in what you're doing. It's great to get kids out of the tenement buildings and back to nature. I'm glad we leave trails for them, teach them archery and orienteering. But this new project of yours, is this long trail that important?
It's not a long trail, it's the ultimate trail. A walking path all the way from New York City to San Francisco.
But Parabellum City isn't along that path. You'd have to detour hundreds
If you're traveling as the crow flies, it's out of the way. But if you follow the major roads that are not yet built, but currently in planning, Parabellum City will be on that path.
So are we doing something to ensure they'll build major roads through Parabellum City? Blowing up mountains or forests that would be obstacles to straighter routes? Blowing up competing cities?
What kind of monster do you think I am? No, it's a done deal. I know a guy who can see the future in limited ways. He assures me that Supreme Motorways, these roads will be called Supreme Motorways, by the way, will run straight around the edge of Parabellum City. They might need to demolish some underdeveloped neighborhoods in order to make way for it, but you have to make way for progress.
And your friend calls himself Catch 2022?
No, I can't reveal my sources. He keeps a low profile. Where did you hear about him?
From his ad on the radio.
Oh no, Trailmaster, your rival is ahead of us.
The Trail Boss? But how can you tell? Is it your tracking skill passed down by your forefathers?
No, can't you smell that?
Well, 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 if it isn't the Trailmaster. I told you before, son, this trail ain't big enough for the two of us.
Oh, there's room for the two of us, Trail Boss. There's even room for my followers. But there's not room for your followers, 500 head of cattle.
Then you can make room by moseying on home.
Don't be so trail bossy.
You're just a trailhead.
If you're saying people come to me to start down a path towards nature and away from the daily grind of urban life, thanks for the compliment.
Bah, I'm done with you trailing me. This face-off's been a long time coming.
Listen, Scout and Journeyman, here's what we'll do. I'll hike up that ridge past the locust tree on the left. That fixed his little red wagon, little red Conestoga wagon, although I don't think they usually dyed the canvas over the top of Conestoga. Never mind.
What? What happened? Did you carry out a plan of attack?
Oh, when I leaned toward you and talked to you confidentially, that gave Trail Boss a chance to walk away. You boys know I'm a man of peace.
We don't have to clean up the park now, do we? After all those cows?
No, don't worry about that. It's good for the grass and trees. But you could do me a favor and begin trimming the branches along here so the trail is clear straight through the park. I'm moving ahead a piece to consider whether the trail should curve towards Mechanic Street or if we should avoid the neighborhood of Hex Pantry entirely.
Couldn't people just walk around the trees so we wouldn't need to trim them?
He knows what he's doing. He's the Trailmaster.
That's right.
More like the trail's off, Master. You notice he does that all the time when he's talking?
That's where his hero name originally came from. He added all this Boy Scout nature hike business later. First few times I heard him trailing off, I wasn't sure if it was some neurological problem or if he was losing confidence in the middle of telling his plan.
You think it's aphasia?
I prefer to think he doesn't want to share the whole plan with us. He keeps us in suspense so we're more interested in the task at hand.
But we don't know what the task at hand is because he trails off while he's telling it.
Hey, here he comes. And who's that behind him?
Falk Zildjian?
It's the end of the trail for you, Trailmaster. The trail has gone cold because I've been hot on your trail.
You're contradicting yourself.
I followed the trail of bodies you left behind.
There have only been 2 since I started. That's not enough to call it a trail.
Well, it's the end of the trail.
You already said that. Why are you on my case? I'm not a villain.
You're certainly no hero.
You don't have your own trail of bodies, Mr. Good Guy?
Not that many. I mostly shoot guns out of people's hands.
You are a criminal because you chase criminals without being sanctioned by the law.
Cops don't really mind, though.
Oh, good. We'll turn loose everyone in jail who the cops don't mind committing crimes.
You're not arguing your way out of justice, Trailmaster. I'm taking you in.
Can we go back to that glass breaking sound? How did you find a window to break out here in the middle of the park?
It wasn't a window. That was a grape knee-high bottle I threw into an empty metal trash can.
What for?
To get your attention. Make a dramatic entrance.
At least he wasn't littering. Take nothing but memories, leave nothing but footprints.
Spin it any way you want, Trailmaster. You're still a murderer.
Now wait. I ran after a lady in the park one time to give her a napkin she dropped. She apparently thought I was a masher, so she ran away, right into traffic. I didn't mean for it to work out that way.
What about Melvin Hartigan?
I don't know who that is.
You left his body in the river?
Oh, that guy dumped 3 gallons of leftover paint and a half barrel of used motor oil into the river. I made him swim in the mess he made.
His hands and feet were tied.
How else could I get him into the river? Anyway, he was loose enough he could tread water. I didn't know he'd have a reaction to those contaminants. When I saw he couldn't stay afloat, I jumped in to save him, but I was too late.
Yeah, big surprise that you'd like tying people up.
What's that supposed to mean?
Villains who have master in their name are practically taking out a personal ad to find heroes with a submissive streak. Master seeking sub for light bondage, maybe sharps.
That would explain why the headmaster got let go from his job at the high school before turning to a life of crime.
Trailmaster isn't that invested in being called master. He was going to call himself the Trailer until we talked him out of it.
Enough! Not all who wander are lost. Those accidents happened before I had the boys with me, so this is the first time they're hearing about it. I shouldn't say the boys, I mean my followers. Wait, what about this? The Trailmaster and his traillings.
No.
See, it's like hirelings or underlings.
No.
Isn't that what earthworms leave behind? Trailings? Castings.
Zildjian, I think we can work things out to everyone's satisfaction without a fight. First, what we'll do is follow this trail northeast as far as Packard.
Can you speak up? I didn't hear that.
I said we'll just trek down beyond the end of that copse of oaks over there, then sometime before the sun sets.
Are you trying to go to a commercial or force a scene change or something?
No, I was hoping you'd wander away like the trail boss does. Just let it go, Falk. I'm not guilty.
Even if those first 2 were justified or accidental killings, what about all the people you're planning to kill?
I'm not planning to kill anyone.
I heard you 2 minutes ago discussing plans to demolish mountains, forests, or any competing cities that stand in the way of Parabellum City being on your superhighway.
Supreme motorway is what people call them.
Whatever, your ultimate trail between New York and Los Angeles.
No, you heard it all wrong. Journeyman or Scout asked if we have to blow things up to make sure the motorway will pass through Parabellum City. I said no, it's destiny. It will happen without any influence from us. Anyway, the ultimate trail is not New York to LA. It ends in San Francisco.
Why San Francisco? LA is bigger.
It really ought to be San Diego if we're talking about one corner of the nation to the other.
Well, it's not as if New York City is at the extreme northeast of the country. If you wanted a route like that, you'd go Bar Harbor to San Diego or something. Anyway, Frisco is the more hopping town. LA can't compete.
Back to the topic we were discussing earlier. You paying for your crimes.
I don't know how you think you'd take me in, Zildjian. You're outnumbered.
Not badly outnumbered. It's only 3 against 2.
What? You and who else?
Me and this gun in my hand.
Walked right into that one. Fine, you got me.
Trailmaster, episode 87 of This Gun in My Hand, was blazed and trailed by Rob Northrop. This episode and all others are available on YouTube with automatically generated closed captions of dialogue. Visit thisguninmyhand.blogspot.com for credits, show notes, archives, information on how to subscribe, and to buy my books, such as Little Heist in the Big Woods and Other Revisionist Atrocities, only $2.99. Cheap! What heroic nickname have I given to my most devoted henchman? This gun in my hand!